I heard you mention something about, Atlantis and the economy of Atlantis, which, and I know I'm drawing parallels to like Atlantis and now. And of
You
course, because you are someone who's heard a lot about Atlantis through your regression sessions, which are probably some of the most thoroughly mentored in the world at this time in this timeline. Debt slaves, the class system, the classes in Atlantis. So I've heard you speak on, and I think it's in
yeah.
one of the books, where in Plato even talks about this, like the rings of the city of Atlantis. The rich class living in the center, the middle class living kind of on the outskirts, and in the outer class, which surprised me, which was the lower class, but they were actually slaves, debt slaves,
Uh-huh.
etc.
It was so
That really,
interesting because if you owed money to a rich family, you'd be their slave until you paid off the debt, basically.
and it almost kind of feels like
It's the
that's
same. There's so
really allegorical with what we've got going on.
and the inner ring, like the elite system, the middle ring,
Yeah.
people could never get to be in the inner ring, really. I thought that was interesting too when I was learning about Atlantis. The best you could hope for was to marry into it, but you would never be there. Only the families that were of
Mm.
the inner ring really were going to stay in the inner ring. There's so many parallels to our current society.
Yeah, it's
Mm.
like, of course, it's not in the books that they printed, but like the Rothschild families and the Rockefellers and the Orsinis and the leading families of today and the ones that we didn't even know about. But I mean,
Right,
it's very much, or just people talk about, for example, banking cartel, the big
right,
banking
right,
business, the Federal Reserve, the pharmacy industry, which has been
right,
referred to as the pharmaceutical cartel.
right.